to you about Carmen Macia. I thought that you did a great job at restaging. I'm going to say restaging because it's an opera and it's been done.
Retelling, yes.
Yes, and it's one of my favorite, to be honest with you. So to take it someplace altogether different.
Well, I thought I think part of one of the things I like to do is tell it from a Latino point of view, right? And so who are those artists right now who are doing work and retelling an iconic tale? And yes, I know it's been done before. It's been done by ballet companies, but actually the first Carmen was done by Alberto Alonso as a ballet that really took off, which was a Cuban choreographer for Maya Plisetskaya. And then there's been all these retellings. And I just really enjoyed Gustavo's because it was the movement develops the characters. It wasn't about the ruffled skirts,
right.
the red, or people playing certain instruments and the whole thing. It was about the movement, telling the story through a group of people.
But what you did, and I thought was exceptional. You basically reminded me of the colors from Guernica, the grays, the blues.
Right. So in his design, he did use Picasso. So the artist Luis Crespo took a lot from Picasso, made it his own, of course, but it was a lot of that, the grays, and so that's why everything is stark white and Carmen's in black.
Right.
Picasso did a lot of sketching and he loved bullfighting and he loved Carmen. He did a lot of little drawings about Carmen and Las Españolas and women. Women were very big, as you know, in his work. Yeah.
All of his wives and mistresses, basically.
Thank you.
But what I also liked was that wonderful modular set. I mean, you did a wonderful job. You were able to tell a story that is extremely elaborate with minimalism.
Mm-hmm.
And so this focus was always on the artist and on the choreography. It didn't shift into having to be mime and, like you said, these long divertissements where we're having people playing instruments and
We didn't need any recitatives, that's for sure.
And it was great. I thought that was an excellent thing. So, and I know you're doing that at the Joy season.
Mm-hmm.
We're there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
April 14th through the
25th.
25th. And so I know you're doing the Carmen's going to be one program.
So that's one program. Our first program, Program A, is a repertory program, and it's actually it's interesting because it's very theatrical in a different way. So here you will have some of the elements that you might see. Showgirl by Rocio Herrera is a very theatrical piece. Spoken word, movement, great music from the 80s. And a little bit of glitz to kind of put that exclamation point on her point of view about women, right? And a reflection of women as showgirls.
Now, which are you're doing a world premiere?
That's the New York premiere. The world premiere is by Miguel Mancillas, a Mexican choreographer who is from Hermosillo, Mexico, which is in the middle of the desert. Very raw, modern work. It's called Conquer, which is so appropriate, in this day and age, but in who we are as humans, and that's what he talks about. I mean, it's focused on people, but it's a bigger theme. And then we are bringing back El Beso as a closer for that program.
So you're going to have a very diverse evening.
Very diverse evenings.
And one of the things I also wanted to discuss with you, we do this every year, you and I. We get together. Right. And when I see that, usually I talk to you before I see the season. And when I see the season, I'm always impressed with how you're moving things forward. I want to congratulate you on changing the carriage house into a wonderful foyer and space down there, beautiful new studios.
Thank you.
And so you see how you're taking this not only into the 21st century, but you're making it a mainstay of the studio.
Oh my God, you just warmed my heart for the day. Really, no, and that's what it's about. I think it's about all communities, first of all. Ballet Hispanico, as an arts organization, especially one that speaks to the Latino community, has to be out in the open. So the whole idea of bringing a studio to the front, changing that to class, people have to see that this is a home here for you, all people, to learn about the culture, to experience the movement, to experience community. We're very excited because, I'm not going to talk about it, but we're going to start, soon there'll be an unveiling of another program which is more about that, more about forums, about those kind of things that really, films that get you going. I'm working on our Studio 10, our big studio, trying to change that into a black box, have some performances. I think in this day and age, when we are so focused on a screen, we're going to need those refuge places where we can be how we started, communing.
And what's so important now, the theaters are disappearing and the spaces that are available are so expensive. So to have something in the community that I'm sure is going to be affordable, that will be accessible.
Absolutely.
And accessible.
Absolutely. Affordable, accessible, and for the community. Especially us here in the Upper West Side, We were here when it wasn't as...
Well, I remember. I remember when there was horses next door.
Horses next door, torn down buildings down the block, Croc House over there.
Yes.
So we still have to represent what was here. And I think we do that by building ourselves in a very accessible way.
It's commendable because a lot of the places I like now, the little nosh places,
Mom and pop.
They're gone. They're gone in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
They just can't afford the rent, and they're being chased out. And the fact that you're not only surviving, but you're expanding. And not only you're expanding your programming, even the quality of the work that you put on stage, and the type of dancers that you're employing. You're expanding where you're getting them from. And I love the fact that you have the Dominican Republic now, if I can call them a boy. You have
we still call them boys and girls, and it's not good, I know. I always do that.
But you're expanding the base of the people that you're even employing, and I think that's so wonderful.
So important, yes. Our tendrils are out into Latin America, so they understand that we are, again, that place. This is that place that you can come and go and leave something and take something. So it's important to reflect that. Miami, Latin America, Europe, Spain. Thank you for noticing.
And I thank you for putting it out there because there's so many places that do token efforts. And I always can have a frank conversation with you. That's one thing I like. There's so many people out there doing token efforts.
Don't get me going.
They'll find 2 dancers from this culture and 2 dancers from that culture and then say they're diversified. Or they'll acquire a European choreographer that'll put a ethnic flair on something and then they'll say we're multicultural. And I think it's so important that when people are of a certain culture, they take pride in that culture, they revel in that culture, and they share it.
I think it's about honesty and not about a marketing ploy and not about fundraising ploys. I think to understand that and the word diversity, we really need to get a grip on that and start using something else. The word diversity for me means integration. People are fully integrated. The organization understands, speaks, the language changes. So it's like, why are we doing that ballet? Why would that person? And is it honest? And is it what does it spurn in the conversation for your audience? Why would we be doing it? And I tell you, we were just at the NYC Dance NYC symposium, and I was on a panel, and I had to, beg forgiveness, but I said, we've been doing Project Plie since 1970. And I turned around to the person, I said, no, I'm not dissing you, and the effort is great. Why not partner with another organization who's already doing this?
Exactly.
Why not go to Dance Theatre of Harlem and say, how do we help you?
Well, you're talking about how it used to be, when people partnered as opposed to competing.
Exactly.
And I know the funding dollars are tight, so if I don't get them, you'll get them, I won't get them. But again, what you're talking about is when they were partnering back then, nobody had any money. And I think you made an excellent point.
It's a great program, and I'm not knocking that at all. I'm saying let's look at different ways, because you have a need, and there are people that also have a different need. How do our needs meet? And how can we support each other in order to then move forward?
Everybody.
Everybody move forward.
And that's what's important.
Everybody.
There's a place for everybody.
There's a place for everybody. And I'm not saying I have all the answers either. I mean, I can find different ways, you know. The thing is that we learn, and we have to learn, and we have to grow in that learning, and not just, there's that project, it's gone.
Right. And once it's gone, there are so many beautiful companies I know that are not around anymore. And it's very sad.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Well, you know, I know you, listen, whenever I speak to you, you're the businessman I know. You're running, you took the time out again to talk to me, and you're running
Oh,
to
it's my pleasure. We always get into good conversations.
Yes, and so I'd like to have another conversation with you maybe after the season when you have a little time and we can then reflect back on the season.
Absolutely.
But thank you again. The Joy season is
the April 14th through the 25th, and tickets can be gotten at joyce.org.
Thank you again.
Thank you.